and welcome to the second installment of Questions with Cotton. This week's episode brings Marky Ramone to the Live Nation offices. Say hello, folks.
Hello there, folks.
He's here to tell us about his current tour with Andrew W.K. They'll be at New York City's Irving Plaza on October 5th. It's a tour, so check your local listings if you don't live in the New York area.
Or you can go to markyramone.com, tour site.
Thanks for coming in today and sampling your sauce with us. Your manager has told us that you need special utensils.
Well, I have the traditional utensils here, which I'm not going to use today. Fork, knife, whatever. But I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use some big chopsticks.
There you go.
All right? Go figure. Here we go.
Let's give it a taste.
Let's stir it around a little. Excellent.
It's really good.
I think from now on I'm going to eat like this, whatever I eat.
So Marky, now that we're on a first name basis,
yes.
Can you tell me the secret ingredient for your marinara sauce?
Secret ingredients is, first, with a lot of love and experience. And we have a mix tape that's included in our contract that specifies that a mixtape has to be played while this is being made, where it's made. And that consists of The Clash, the Ramones, Sex Pistols, The Who, Dave Clark 5, and it's basically a punk rock pasta sauce. And it's delicious. I love it.
Punk rock?
Wonderful.
Punk rock is the secret ingredient. Genius.
Thank you.
Does your marinara have a favorite punk band? Probably the Ramones, huh?
Of course, Ramones.
Do you ever switch it up and play some Dark Side of the Moon? Or
well, it's
a little too spacey?
It's a little too spacey, but it's up to the individual who's doing it at that moment. If he wants to include that, more power to him.
Do you have a favorite pasta shape for your marinara sauce?
A pasta what?
Do you have a favorite pasta shape?
Well, I like wagon wheels.
Work?
I like the old wagon wheels. They're good.
I'm sorry, we only have ZD today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Have you thought about making it an Alfredo sauce?
Eventually, we're going to probably have to come up with something else. But so far, this has been pretty hot. So when that time comes, maybe we'll make a vodka sauce, or, something with meat in it, maybe.
Is there a signature Marky Ramone dish that you make for your family and friends? Are you the chef of your household?
In fact, I do. When I visit my parents, I make not semolina, the spinach spaghetti with sausage, meatballs, and my pasta sauce. And my mother's very happy because she doesn't have to cook. And then, the end result is I have to clean everything up, even the pots, the pans. So, I make sure I have an extra portion for myself. But that's how I make it, especially for friends and relatives.
All right, can we talk about you as a drummer? Because you've been playing the drums since at least, the early 70s or the 60s?
70s.
Where did you get your start? Were you in your high school
I was in
band or?
Junior high school. I had a band called Dust. We were one of the first heavy metal bands in America. And we got signed to Buddha Kama Sutra Records by Neil Bogart, who was the owner of the company, the president of the company. And we were all friends in the band. We were a three-piece, too young really to tour. We had to finish high school, and that ended that. But we made a good impression. Recently, the two albums were just re-released on vinyl and CD, and we mastered. Then I started hanging out in New York. I played with Jane County, and then Richard Hell and the Voidoids. We did the Blank Generation together on Seymour Stein's label Sire. And then I was asked to join the Ramones, and I played with them for 15 years. So even now it's a trip, just keeping the legacy alive and playing all over the world and touring and keeping the memory of Johnny, Joe, and Dee Dee to me, which was very important, alive. So that's what I continue to do. And I want everyone to come to the shows because it's going to be one big party. Andrew W.K. is on vocals. And we've already done so many shows already where it's tight as whatever you want to say. But
you even went to Europe, right?
We went to Europe. We went to Russia. I went to Russia with another singer that I know. But Andrew is playing with me on this tour, and we'll be in Irving Plaza, New York City. These are just a few dates, and the Henry Fonda Theater in Los Angeles. So it's been a pleasure keeping this stuff alive. I just came back from Rock in Rio, and it was great, just to see people partying and seeing the younger and older generation who love the Ramones songs getting together. It's like bridging the generation gap. So if you want to bring your parents with you, or your uncles, your older brothers and sisters, go right ahead. Vice versa. I guarantee a good time.
So, who inspired you to be a drummer? Was there one specific drummer?
Yeah, of course. Ringo from the Beatles. I loved his image. I liked, of course, his drumming, very tight. The Beatles are the Beatles, but I have a lot of influences that I probably... do we have time to mention them?
Sure, we can make time.
Oh, okay. Dave Clark 5, Keith Moon from The Who, Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix. This might sound old and quaint. Buddy Rich, who was a great jazz drummer. Gene Krupa, who was a great jazz. You got to go back sometime to really learn a lot. Mm-hmm. And you throw that all together, you get Marky Ramone. So it was mainly watching the Ed Sullivan Show when I was 8 years old. And there was Ringo, and I dropped all my toys. I got all my airplane models, and I put firecrackers in them, and I blew them up. And then I started banging on tables everywhere and getting left back in school. So I had to go to summer school to make up for 10 months of disruption in class.
You went to summer school, but look where you are now.
Yeah.
It was all worth it.
I'm a Live Nation on 42nd Street.
So let's bring it back to why you're here with us today. You're on tour with Andrew W.K. How did you guys get together? Did he reach out to you, or have you known about him for a while?
It was a suggestion, which was out of nowhere. It was a suggestion by a friend. And then we met at a rehearsal. He liked the Ramones, still does, obviously. And I gave him a tape to learn before rehearsing. He came to a rehearsal that I booked, and it clicked. And I like his delivery, and I like the way that he engages the audience while we're playing. And he's a character, and I love characters.
Did you see when he broke the Guinness Book of World Record for playing the drums 24 hours straight in Times Square?
I went there. I played for about 15 minutes on the set next to him, just to give him a little added inspiration. And he managed. He did it. So that was very admirable.
It's nuts to watch. You've been on the road a lot lately, it seems like.
Yeah.
But how many gigs a year do you play?
I probably play, I think this year, a lot. Probably as many as the Ramones did. Probably about 100, 110.
Wow, you're busy.
I did 1,500, 1,700 shows with the Ramones. And so it's really, it's easy. It's not hard to do because of what I've been doing and the experience. So the more you do it, the easier it is.
Do you like being on the road better than staying at home and recording?
Oh yeah, I see things. That I used to see in postcards as a little kid growing up. I wish I was there. I wish I could go there. And you develop relationships with fans, and they become your friends. So then you go back to the same countries, and they're there waiting for you, and you hang out with them, and it just continues. It just grows and grows. It's really a nice thing to see.
Can we talk about your time with the Ramones for a little bit?
Sure.
A little bit more? I always wondered how you guys met. Did you all find 3 other dudes with the same last name of the Ramone, and you just kind of had to start a band?
Well, Johnny, Joey, Dee Dee, Tommy for 3 years. Then I joined after Tommy left. They took the name out of a phone from Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney used to check into hotels as Paul Ramone because he didn't want people to find out that he was in the hotel as Paul McCartney. He didn't want to be bothered. So Dee Dee Ramone took Ramone and called it the Ramones, and that's how that started. It was that simple. So I was asked to join the Ramones by Dee Dee Ramone, and the rest is history. So they hailed from Forest Hills, Queens. I come from Brooklyn. So that's how it was, very simple. And then I went to a rehearsal. We did Blitzkrieg Bop, Sheener's a Punk Rocker, Rockaway Beach, and I Don't Care. And it worked. So everything fell into place, and they gave me a cassette of their live show and Road to Ruin, which was going to be the first album that I was on. And the first song that I recorded with them was I Want to Be Sedated. So crazy. I guess sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, you know.
Yeah, you've been on so many classic Ramones hits, including, do you remember Rock and Roll Radio, Rock and Roll High School, the KKK Took My Baby Away? Do you have a personal favorite?
Well, I love the movie Rock and Roll High School. The song's great too. My favorite is, I guess, I Want to Be Sedated.
Classic.
You know, I mean,
definitely.
Who doesn't sometime?
So, I also mentioned the KKK Took My Baby Away. It has a controversial title, but
Yes,
can you tell us what it's really about?
It's really about what it says. There's no hidden meaning behind it.
I've heard rumors that it's about Johnny stealing Joey's girlfriend.
Well, Joey had other girlfriends besides that one too, so he really didn't steal her. It was just because John was involved with her that he got pissed off. If it was another guy, he wouldn't have. So the KKK, the song itself, is really just a premise for a song. That was it. The KKK took my baby away. So it was a cool line. They took her away. They took my baby away. Could have been any girlfriend he was discussing, but that's the rumor. So I don't want to break the bubble. But,
Mystery solved. So.
It's just that while John was seeing his girlfriend, Joey had other girlfriends too. So wasn't really that important. But it's a great song.
So do you remember much of the Ramones' last tour?
Oh yeah, that was me, Johnny, and Joey. We were in a room in '94, and we decided to retire the Ramones in '96. So we had 2 more years to go. So we had Lollapalooza. So you go there, you get up, you got to travel, you got to get to the next show, you got to do sound checks, and you're playing with other cool bands. So that was really a good time. So it was a good ending of the tour, and playing South America, Argentina, Brazil, where we played in front of 60,000 people as headliners. And we had Iggy Pop opening for us and Motorhead. So, those are the really outstanding things that I liked. And the US Festival was really cool. That was '82 in San Bernardino in the desert of California. And it was about 112 degrees, and there we are in our leather jackets. And luckily there were oxygen tanks on the side that Joey and Dee Dee used after the show because they were a little hot.
Is it true that you guys wouldn't have been on the Lollapalooza '96 lineup if it wasn't for Soundgarden demanding that you're on the lineup as well?
Well, it was all of them. It was Rancid, Soundgarden, Metallica. They all wanted us on the tour.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
these different types of bands are all influenced by you guys.
Different genres. Like the grunge scene loved the Ramones, Metallica. Later metal. So we were very grateful and happy to be on that tour. We were exposed to a lot of people, which is really the end result of what you have to do,
After all those years of dedication, huh?
Yeah. Traveling around in a van, playing in venues and clubs, and eventually we started playing bigger places. And one of them was the chance to play Lollapalooza and the US Festival, which was very nice.
Season 5 of The Simpsons includes a classic episode, Rosebud, which the Ramones are featured in.
Yep.
Before, you and the rest of the Ramones played Happy Birthday to Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Johnny said, "This gig sucks."
Right.
Was it really that bad? It was Mr. Burns' birthday. Come on.
I loved
that
it.
bad.
I loved it.
And here, Johnny
We
was
were
a big...
a Simpson
Yeah?
for a day. We were a Simpson for a day. The Matt's people came to the studio. We recorded it in a studio in New York. And it was a very short song. We had speaking parts. So my part was, I think I was the last one who sang it. I think I said, gee, I think they liked us because they applauded. And then he says, let's have the Rolling Stones killed. So I guess he changed allegiance at that point. But Mr. Burns became a Ramones fan. So we were very grateful to be in a Simpsons episode, which was really cool. I always liked The Simpsons,
So not only do you have a tour with Andrew...
Yeah, go ahead.
So not only do you have a tour with Andrew W.K. and you have your own marinara sauce, but you also have a Sirius XM radio show.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of your faction show. It's pretty cool that you play the old punk songs and the old punk bands with the newer punk bands as well.
Yes.
What are some current punk bands that you like nowadays?
That I like nowadays, I think that a band out of England called the Gallows are really good. I like the Riverboat Gamblers, really good band. I like the Loved Ones, really good. And I like a lot of the stuff that Rancid members are doing solo-wise, Tim and Lars and Matt. So there's a lot of good stuff out there, a lot of good stuff.
Speaking of current music, we have a question coming to us from Becca Oxley in Maryland. What do you see as the future of punk rock music? Anything aside from the bands you just mentioned? Is it growing as a genre?
Well, yeah, it's definitely growing as a genre worldwide, but it's not getting played above ground as much as it should be. That's why, luckily, we have Sirius Satellite Radio, and we have shows like mine, the Punk Rock Blitzkrieg, where I'm able to play what I want, which is punk rock for 3 hours on Tuesday and Saturday. So if I could foresee the future, I'd be able to know what new budding punk band is coming along that would be great. So far, there's been a lot of new stuff, like I just mentioned. And let's keep our fingers crossed.
Are there any other styles besides punk rock that you like to listen to on your own?
Well, you wouldn't believe it if I told you. I like everything. I like Dave Brubeck. I like jazz. I like the blues. I like John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf. I did a blues album with a blues artist. When I was, I think, 18, Johnny Shines. He was from the Mississippi Delta, a real blues artist. That was great. So I listen to everything. I don't believe that you have to like just one genre. And I like listening to oldies from the 50s, where me and the other Ramones would listen to oldie stations in the van that we'd be traveling in. Because that's where we got a lot of our stuff from, believe it or not, from doo-wop bands and the chord changes that those bands had. So, that's just to name a few genres,
Cool. Thanks. Well, it looks like Marky's manager is trying to get him out of here. So maybe I have another interview to do somewhere else in Times Square.
I don't know. I just got back from Rock in Rio, and I had to do my radio show. Now I'm here, which I'm very grateful for. And I'm meeting my pastor with drumsticks. So who knows? Who knows where I'm going? What am I doing in 10 minutes?
Okay, just don't forget, Marky has his very own marinara sauce, and he'll be playing Irving Plaza on October 5th with Andrew W.K.
Hey, you kids, get off the roof!
Get out of there!